Good morning. Today is Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know actually. Gosh, this is what happens when you don't have any structure. Today is Wednesday. Well, I just got out of the shower and I put on the self tanner, the new one. So we'll see how that goes. I think it needs to develop for like 8 hours, but my first impressions are pretty good actually. Like the smell isn't that very pungent, stinky smell that usually the self tanner has. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. I would say the smell is, in terms of like how bad it smells, it's like a 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. Whereas usually they're like the worst. I hate the smell. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm hypersensitive that I really, really cannot deal with that smell. Anyways, the brand of the self tanner, I think the brand is called Eco by Sonia or something like that. And they basically said that you can literally put it on your body and then wear clothes straight away without it like ruining your clothes. So I thought I would test that statement by wearing nothing but white and light clothes. So we're gonna see if it stains and I'll keep you updated. Also on the color of the tan. Like right now I'm still a very white, but hopefully in a few hours I'll be sun-kissed again, or at least sun-kissed from a bottle. I am starting the day off with some breakfast. I made some chia pudding with some cacao in there, some protein powder, and some blueberries and coconut. Also, my new chair finally arrived. I thought I would add a pop of color into this house because it's literally just beige. So now we have some color. To be honest with you, it is a lot pinker than I thought it would. I thought it would be a little more like terracotta, but so far I really, really like it. And so do you. Just feel like now I want to tackle all of the like wintry stuff here and all of like the dark greens in here and replace them with something a little more spring-like. Et voila. Some greenery. And if you're wondering why is this fake, that's because of this little monster right here. I'm not even kidding you. I don't know how many vases and plants she ruins. Like she will just literally, whenever I have like a vase on top of a table, she'll jump on it and she will sit in the vase. And then obviously that will fall down and everything crushes on the floor. And that's why we now stop it. Stop it. Well, need I say more? I just popped on some fake tulips in a vase on this table here just to see how the cats deal with them. Because if they fall, hopefully these are fake. There's no water in here and it's only like a short fall to the ground. So let's test drive and see if we can manage. Something else has just arrived. I'm thinking these are the glass jars I ordered, but I'm not sure. So let's open them. Every single time. So I thought these jars would look super cute in the kitchen in this corner here. So I was thinking over here, because not only will it look cute, I need something to store all of the stuff for our shakes for in the morning. I want to store that here so that I can easily grab it and just prepare the shakes here, because now I have to get everything out of this cabinet. So yeah, this corner has been bugging me for a while. I never really had time to finish it. So yeah, let's do that today. Okay, now that that has completely dried, so I made sure all of the water is gone. Otherwise, it might get moldy. I'm going to put in the stuff that I want to put in there, and that is mainly oatmeal and our protein powder, because these are the biggest boxes that I have. So let's start with oatmeal. So right now that's in this smaller jar. So I'm just gonna put that in here. Here we go. Now in these big ones, I'm going to put our protein powder. So Dave has whey protein and I have vegan protein. So I'm going to use this for the whey and then the smaller one for the vegan stuff. And here we are. Super useful. And it also looks cute. Today is not a good avocado day, sadly. That does not look aesthetic, but it is really, really good. Another package has arrived. I usually don't shop this much, but since I am like organizing the house and also rearranging like my skincare, my beauty stuff, everything, I did a thing. I immediately started replacing some of my most used products, including eyeshadow. So I ordered a new palette. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Dreams palette. So it's actually not rated that great. I think it's like a 7 or an 8 out of 20, but I could not find anything that has like good reviews and has the colors that I want and also has a good score. So I thought we'll just go with it. And I needed to replace my eyeshadow anyway. These are the colors. I looked up the palette on TikTok and pretty much every single girl had like blue green eyes like I do. So I think this will look really good on my eye color, but let's test it out. Okay, so before I start testing the eyeshadow, let's first clean my brushes. So while those dry, I still have 2 brushes that I'm gonna use right now because I just want to know. I just want to see how it looks. Oh, that is very pigmented. Okay, this is the final look. I'm not sure yet. I don't usually use these colors, so kind of have to get used to it, but yeah, undecided yet. I do match my new chair. Also, a little skin update on my tan. I feel like I have gotten a little more tan. It looks very, very natural. You cannot see that I'm wearing big tan, if that makes sense, but I do feel a little more tan. Yeah, kind of like it. For dinner, I made egg noodles with chicken, veggies, and some sweet chili sauce. Yummy! More fluff of this monster. 3 times a day, I have to do this. About that tan, by the way, it looks very nice, very, very natural. So far, I really like it. Plus, I checked and my sheets are clean, my clothes are clean, so it really doesn't streak. I'm sorry, but can we just take a moment and talk about this top and like this silhouette like that? I think it looks really, really nice, but how do people move in this without it going like this every single time? And then I have to put it back, and then I feel like I can't move again, and then I have to grab something from the fridge, and again. how do people do this? Like, should we maybe just move on to a different trend? This is just not comfortable. Okay, I changed my top. I feel like a big part of not feeling safe in your body is also the clothes you're wearing. So if you do not feel comfortable in them, if they are too tight, or like that top I was wearing, it just doesn't really feel like you can move, just don't wear it. I feel like that is what I'm gonna do the next coming months. Just go for comfy clothes. And by that, I don't mean wear like a hoodie every single day, but just wear something comfortable. The fabrics, the silhouette, the size, something you feel very snug in. Like this. I am 2 chapters into this book here, Anchored, which is about befriending your nervous system. And so far, I really like it. I will share some of my key takeaways with you, actually. Okay, my 3 biggest takeaways from this book so far, and I'm only 2 chapters in, so I want to keep it short. So the first one is, in order to start regulating your nervous system, you need to understand your nervous system. And basically, she just explains how it all works, the 3 different types of modes that your nervous system has. And she basically just says, if you don't understand what is happening and why these 3 modes are important for your survival and just like your health in general, it will be really hard for you to start regulating. And I agree with her. Then another thing that I found really, really interesting is she explains the process of regulating your nervous system, not just as like self-regulating, but also co-regulation. So what she means by that is, if you want to start healing, if you want to start regulating your nervous system, you don't just do like the self-regulation. You don't just learn how to feel safe in your own body and just by yourself. You also need to start regulating with others. You need to start feeling safe around other people. You need to start connecting with other people, speaking up about what's on your mind and letting people know what is bothering you. So super interesting, especially for me. I'm someone who goes inward a lot. So I do a lot of like self-regulation, but I kind of forgot about the whole co-regulation part. So I think for me, that's a big one where I want to learn to speak up more and tell people what is up with me. If I have specific emotions, if I feel mad about something they're doing, if I am anxious, if I am stressed, all of those things I want to start doing more of. And what else did she say? So I actually took some notes here. Okay, yeah, so we have 4 key takeaways because this is also something I want to mention. And that is that the vagus nerve, so like the whole system in your body that regulates your nervous system, it goes all the way from your brain up until like down here somewhere in the back of your back. So what it does, it can send information. And there's 2 ways of that. The first one is from the brain to a part of the body. And the other way is from the body to the brain. And interestingly, only 20% of the information that is traveling through this vagus nerve goes from the brain into the body. 80% of this information comes from the body into your brain. So what she explains is, if you don't listen to your body, if you feel disconnected from your body, you miss out on 80% of the information that your vagus nerve, so your nervous system here, gives to your brain. And to me, that is so interesting because I think a lot of people are very disconnected from their body, especially me. I've been paying a lot more attention to my body, but basically, if you have like a tense stomach or your heart rate goes up, those are all signals from the vagus nerves that enter your brain. But if you don't listen to them, if you ignore them, if you suppress them like I do, then you won't be able to act on those feelings, on those signals from the body. So yeah, that is something very interesting, I think, is to learn to listen more to your body. So not just trust that your brain sends out all of these signals to the body, but also trust and learn and start to listen to the body signaling to the brain. Oh my God, this is already a big yeah. I'm so sorry if this is not interesting. Please let me know also if you do not like these like educational yaps. I'm still learning how to do this whole like vlogging thing. So if this is not interesting to you at all, please let me know. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention is probably the most important thing. What she says, and that is something practical. She basically said she gives an exercise in the book to start naming all 3 of these modes of your nervous system. So you have your safety mode where you're all like calm, relax, and chill. You have your fight or flight mode, and you have the shutdown mode. And what she explains is, give each of these 3 modes a name that makes sense to you. so that you can easily tune into them. So for example, I named the safety mode my flow mode, and I gave it a little heart so that I know, like, okay, this is flow mode. Then for fight or flight, I gave it the name activated. So whenever I feel activated, I'll know, like, okay, I'm in fight or flight right now. And then the third one, the shutdown mode, I renamed to zoned out, which is when I'm no longer there. And then she explains that throughout the day, we enter all of these three states, which maybe you already know that. But what I found interesting is that none of these states are bad. So even the shutdown mode or the fight or flight mode, they're not bad. You need them. So I found that a little vague and I needed something to support that. So I started looking up on ChatGPT, like, give me some examples of activities or things to do in each state that show me that, for example, the shutdown mode also has benefits to them. So that is what I did. And I'm just going to read some of them to you. So just to clarify, we have three different modes that can either be regulated or dysregulated. So in a regulated state, so in a beneficial state, the safety mode, or for me, the flow mode, would feel like calm, connection, creativity, and some activities can include like reading, journaling, talking with a friend. And then for the fight or flight mode, or the activation mode, how I call it, things that you will experience if you are regulated. So if you are in this state, but in a regulated way, so not in a dysregulated way, you will feel focused, energized, action oriented, and you feel motivation. So basically, whenever you are working, exercising, or learning something, that is when you are in this fight or flight mode, which to me is very interesting because I always thought fight or flight is literally just for when there's an enemy or a predator somewhere, and it is only useful in those specific instances. But it's not. Like, for all of these activities, you're in your fight or flight mode. And then the last one, so the shutdown mode, which I really linked to depression, feeling numb, that sort of thing. But that is only in a dysregulated system. In a regulated system, shutdown will look like deep rest and recovery. And examples of activities in this state are literally sleep, or you daydreaming or meditating, or literally just lying down on a couch. Those are all shutdown activities. Mind-blowing to me, honestly. I did not know that these things are also super good for you and that you need these three states. So yeah, I thought this was super, super interesting. And what I want to do now is just pay a little more attention to these three states throughout the day. So for example, right now, as I am talking to you, I am probably in my activation mode. And I want to start paying attention to, okay, when do I move into shutdown, or when do I move into my flow or my safety state? That is what I'm going to do today. And hopefully I will start to become a little bit more aware of these three different states. Okay, that was the end of my presentation. Thank you. Oh, I'm currently exporting the second vlog. Oh my God, I feel like I have postponed this a little. I don't know what it is, but it feels a little weird because the second vlog, I had not checked the footage yet of everything that I had recorded. So it just feels super, super boring. Like, I was sick. I couldn't leave the house because of the wound that got infected on my foot. So I don't know if I like it. I don't know if it's maybe a little too boring. So I don't know. Should I post it? I mean, who cares? It's authentic. It's you. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. It's okay. I also dyed my eyebrows this morning, and I don't know what happened, but I set a timer, I remove it, and then 10 minutes later, I come back and I'm like, it's even more dark than before. So I think it kind of develops over time, even though you remove the dye from your eyebrows. So lesson learned there, but hopefully in a few days it will be less dark. Whenever I need to wait, like for example, now I'm waiting for the video to export, I notice myself opening my phone and checking Instagram. And obviously I deleted the app, so I don't have the app on my phone anymore. But somehow I just keep forgetting, and then I keep searching for the app and I realize, oh, it's not there anymore. But it's so interesting to me that I truly don't want to be alone with my thoughts that much that I keep grabbing my phone even though I know the app isn't there. That's what I call a coping mechanism. Also, how sad is this? Okay, so I'm actually really enjoying having these spots over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my creatine into this spare pot that I have here. And then I'm just gonna put that over here as well because I add this into the shake. So that's what we're gonna do. Does this fit? Oh my God. If this works, I'm a genius. That was so smart. This is getting kind of cute here. The only thing I want to do now is change the labels here because right now this still says oatmeal. I make these myself with my label printer in Canva, and I want to do the same with these. Well, we are getting there. Still not fully to my liking, but at least it's efficient. I also just created this new banner for our TV. And now it looks like this. I love how it has like these grains. So it looks more like a picture. Are you enjoying the sun? Oh my God, it's insane how much my mood is being influenced by this new painting here, along with these flowers. Like, I feel so much more energized. I feel so much more motivated. And I think it all has to do, or not all, but largely has to do with the fact that spring is here. We can go outside again. I went on an amazing walk. And I don't know, winter is just finally behind us. It's always something that I feel like I have to survive a little here in the Netherlands because it's just so cold and rainy and dark. And yeah, I feel like everyone is just hibernating, surviving. And then when spring is upon us, everyone comes back outside. So yes, I'm very excited for springtime. On today's menu, we have a Caesar salad with homemade sourdough croutons, eggs, and chicken. Yum yum.
Looking lovely.
Good morning, or I should say afternoon almost. It's 11:40 right now, and I went to the gym this morning. I washed my hair and I'm just letting it air dry so it looks a little bit wild. Anyways, today is Friday and I'm having my sister over for work. On Fridays, we work together, her on her business and me, well, I'll just be editing. And before everything happened and I started this vlog and quit my business, I would also work alongside her on my business. However, now that I'm focusing on healing and regulating my nervous system, obviously I don't have a business anymore, but I'm going to use this time to start editing the previous vlogs because I have a lot of footage that I still have to go through. And yeah, I thought this would be a perfect moment to start editing that. Also, I can tell you how much joy my new spring setup brings me. I love the new painting on the TV. I love the tulips and I love our new pink chair. So cute. I also wanted to take a little moment to talk about what I spoke about the different modes that your nervous system has and how you can start noticing and observing them throughout the day. And that is exactly what I've been doing. Ooh, I got interrupted there by someone ringing the doorbell. Anyways, your nervous system has three different modes. We have safety mode, fight or flight, and we have shutdown mode. And what I explained is that none of them are bad or good. All three modes are either good or bad, and they are good if you have a regulated nervous system, and they are bad if you have a dysregulated nervous system. So, for example, I always thought that fight or flight mode would be something negative that you only experience when you're stressed and you have anxiety and there's like some form of danger around you. However, for some activities, you need fight or flight to operate, basically. So, for example, if you're exercising, if you are learning something, if you are working, me talking to you and to this camera right now, that is all fight or flight mode, but it's the regulated version, not the dysregulated version. Anyways, what I did yesterday is try to observe myself in these three different modes. And it's super interesting because it actually really helped me calm myself down. For example, I noticed that when I was walking outside and talking to a friend in the meantime, I noticed that I was in this like fight or flight mode, but like the good version, not the bad version. But sometimes on the same path that I was walking, there would be other people walking there. Oh, that's the bell again. There would be other people walking there. And then I would go into like the dysregulated version and be like, oh, danger. I got interrupted again. Again by the doorbell, and this time was my sister who has arrived. So now I'm noticing I'm in fight or flight, but now I'm in the bad one because now I feel like I'm rushing and I don't want to keep her waiting. So my point was, I think it's very, very helpful to start noticing these different modes throughout the day and see whenever you are like regulated versus dysregulated. So that is what I've been doing yesterday, and I'm going to continue and do the same thing. And then I will finish this yap later in the day when I don't feel dysregulated. Bye! Twinning! As always.